Hello, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your daily Manchester United transfer news. I'm just wondering why the live comments aren't working, but they are working. They just started to work there, which is fantastic, and that makes things a lot easier. How are you feeling on this Saturday morning? How we'll be feeling in 24 hours will be interesting, if only for the lack of sleep, but getting up at 3 AM. We'll be live for the watch along. You can see the details for that tomorrow from 2:30 AM. But we're here to talk about Manchester United transfer news. The game can take care of itself and it's very exciting. But let's start off with Ivan Perisic. I want to talk about Mbappe. That is probably the big news. But I just want to say Ivan Perisic. He will be a Manchester United player by Monday night. We've not really committed to much this season because there's not really been a lot of information out there. But the person who told me, Lindelof, 4 days before it was official, has said that Perisic will be a Manchester United player by Monday night. Not 48 hours. I'm not saying 48 hours because thankfully Monday night is not 48 hours. But Perisic will be a United player by Monday night. You can take that to the bank if you want to. You can disagree, whatever. But we're telling you that that will happen. Interestingly enough, he's pulled out of some sort of Inter Milan game or friendly or training session today because of an eye infection, which may be genuine, may not. He's clearly not happy, and I think he's doing what he needed to do. He's got to force that move out of Inter Milan. I want him. I'm not convinced about the price, but let's wait and see what happens. There's no way Martial's going to be part of that deal, so let's calm down about that. There would be outrage if we got rid of Anthony Martial, and looking at him training in the US tour, he seems to be getting on very, very well with everybody, so I can't see that happening. A happy Martial is going to be a better player this season than he was last year. So yeah, Perisic United gives us some more depth, gives us some more quality, so let's get that deal done. Jose Mourinho was mentioning last night about two sign. I also wanted to say about Luke Shaw. This rumour that Luke Shaw's out till the new year is totally and utter nonsense. I don't know where it came from. I think Mourinho was misquoted. Luke Shaw's not out. He's been training this week. He's training on his own a little bit, and I'm sure he has injury problems, but he's still training. To be out till the new year, you'd have to be like on crutches or something, and he isn't. So Luke Shaw's not out until the new year. He may be out of the game against LA Galaxy, but because he's not ready. He was only injured at the end of last season, but he's not out to the new year, so that's another thing. But Mourinho mentioned last night a few very interesting things about things that maybe we probably wouldn't have got out of Van Gaal and maybe even Sir Alex Ferguson. Quite openly saying that we haven't got the transfers he wanted to get done, but he wasn't blaming his board. He said it's a very challenging market, which I think it probably is. And he also said that they've got 2 in, but he wants 2 more, at least 1 more. I think you've got to go for 2, Jose. If we only get 1 in, then we're always going to know now that you wanted more than that. So if there's failure, then it's going to be critical, isn't it, during the season? Well, you didn't do enough to get the players you want. So I think there will be 2 more, maybe even 3 more. He also said about Morata, that they were working on the Morata deal in tandem with the Lukaku deal. They couldn't do a deal with Morata because of economic reasons. And again, he didn't blame the board. We put an offer in, and Real Madrid didn't sell. He stopped short of blaming Real Madrid as well. He said Real Madrid can ask for what they want for their players. I think Morata needed to push that one out a little bit further, to be honest. But we have also got to... I don't think the Morata deal's quite dead. I would not be surprised if Morata to United was back on the agenda, because if we were working on Lukaku and Morata at the same time... Yes, from a cynical point of view, you can say, well, if we get one, we drop the other. But that's a very immoral way to approach football. And I'm sure a lot of clubs do it. But I think we were looking for 2 strikers. And I still think we may be looking for 2. The reason I'm talking about Mbappe, and I've only got onto him now, is that Mourinho wants Mbappe. Mourinho does want Kylian Mbappe. What manager in world football doesn't want Mbappe? Mbappe is continuously... I mean, he's not on the scale of Bakayoko. I don't know what that nutter's up to, flying around Europe pretending he's signing for different clubs. He thinks he's Messi. He's not. He's a water carrier. He's rubbish. Unless he signs for United, in which case I'll have to give him a chance. But by all means, go and sign for Chelsea, mate, because I'm not interested unless you're wearing a United shirt. But Mbappe, we think he wants to go to Real Madrid. The Arsenal rumours are ridiculous. Why would a player take a massive step down to go and play with a team that's spineless and are not even in the Champions League? So that's a laugh. But Mbappe to Manchester United, I think Manchester United have done everything they can to get Mbappe to Manchester United, and Mourinho wants him. I would be ecstatic, and as I keep saying, if we're going to sign a marquee signing, I would not be surprised if it's Mbappe, and I don't think it's dead yet. Di Marzio started talking about Mbappe to Manchester United at the end of March, and his exact words are, Mourinho is obsessed by Mbappe and wants him at Manchester United. You think about Mbappe, Lukaku, Rashford, Martial, Pogba, and you think, my word. And I think United would be willing to pay £120 million for him. And let's not forget, they're in tandem a race with effectively Real Madrid. So Real Madrid may win this race, and I think they've got a lot of the cards in their back pocket. But I think Manchester United will fight hard and hard to do it, because just like Pogba last year, Real Madrid tried to make out that they weren't bidding for Pogba. Well, they were, and we outbid them, and we got the player. I'm not going to say we're going to sign Mbappe, but it's very, very obvious that we're in for him. There's a few people saying it this morning. The same person who's told us about Perisic. Now, they're not saying that Mbappe deal will happen. They're just saying that Manchester United are right at the front of the queue, that if there is any issue with him going to Real Madrid, Manchester United want him. So let's see what happens. I personally would love Mbappe at Manchester United. I know people talk about, well, what does it mean for Rashford? What does it mean for Martial? Look, I don't care if we've got 10. I don't care if we sign Belotti, Aubameyang, Lukaku, Morata, Mbappe, and we've still got Martial, Rashford. Of course, it'd be too many strikers, but to be honest, my priority is Manchester United. And if we had 8 world-class strikers and only 2 can play, or 1, then it's going to be one hell of a competition. And we will bring the best out of Rashford and Martial by having proper in-depth competition. Lukaku on his own, if he does his knee, we're just back to what we had at the last season. In fact, we've got less. You know, Zlatan and Rooney were pretty ineffective at the end of the last season because of injury and lack of form. We just had Rashford and Martial. If Lukaku gets injured, we've just got Martial and Rashford again. I think we need another striker. Half-arsed Gaming, thank you very much for the contribution. He says Mbappe is a Rashford who's played 30 games starting. I've seen a lot of Mbappe last season. He is only a one-season player, so you can't go back further than that. He is only just 18. But when you can look at a player and you can look at their attributes and you can pretty much tell whether they're going to be a good player or not. And Mbappe has got it. His movement, he's very like Rashford and Martial. You can see that in their natural game, they've got the ability to be top players. Injury avoided, of course. Rashford this season's bulked up amazingly, absolutely amazingly. I mean, his mate's Lingard. I don't know what Lingard's doing while Rashford's down the gym, skipping or doing handshakes. I don't know, but if Rashford can do it, I never understand why Lingard's never gone and done it. Rashford's bulked up. Ronaldo proportions. I remember when Ronaldo went from a skinny little boy over the summer and came back all muscly. Well, Rashford, in his physique, I think has got the capability to be massive anyway. You know, genetics do come into it. But Rashford could do amazing things this season, but I started to think, well, I wonder if he's going to use him as a winger, because now he's got that core strength. I think Rashford's problem has always been, because he's young, a bit slimline, balance is a bit off. With that muscle core, his core will be stronger, and I'm just wondering whether we might see more of him as a winger, because we need pace down the wing. So I think it's going to be very, very exciting when you've got that manoeuvrability between Martial and Rashford, who probably both want to play up front, but could both play either side of Lukaku. I mean, imagine that as a front three. Lukaku, Rashford on the right, Martial on the left. It's going to terrify teams. Then you've got Pogba backing them up with Herrera and hopefully a good centre defensive midfielder, and suddenly we become a good team. And I don't think people have really looked at that possibility. So yes, Perisic will be a Manchester United player by Monday night. We are saying that now. We've not really committed to anything other than the Lindelof one a couple of days before. So we've been told I am going to take that. Let's see what happens. Further news, Darmian is apparently a player we're trying to sell. I'm a bit surprised by that. I thought Mourinho wanted to keep him, but apparently we want to get rid of Darmian. I've told you about Luke Shaw. And Schmeichel is being mentioned as coming to Manchester United. Kasper Schmeichel of Leicester. This is something that just keeps going on and on and on. All I would say is I'm a little bit concerned. We've got a contribution here from Cameron Bauer. Mark, do you think we should go back to 4-4-2? Personally, I don't, Cameron. But can you watch Saturday Night Live at 8 o'clock? And I'll remember that question. I'll write. You don't need to contribute again. I will write that down, and it will be one of the first questions I answer on the Q&A tonight, because it's a good question and I haven't really got time to get into it now, but it'll be perfect for tonight. Just reminds you, 8 o'clock tonight, Saturday Night Live. It's a Q&A. It's massively about the live comments. We always put a post up on Twitter and Facebook as well, where you can put questions on there. So join us for that. But back to what I was saying, Kasper Schmeichel. I just have a slight concern that maybe Real Madrid and De Gea. I did say at the start of the summer that we'd lose De Gea, but I'm going to be totally honest with you now. If he goes, I can't really say, oh, I was right, because I thought he was going to go quite soon. Before, you know, but certainly by now, I've got a feel. For the last 2 weeks, I thought De Gea was going to stay, which is why I'm frustrated now. Because if he goes, maybe we do get Kasper Schmeichel, as long as it's not Joe Hart. But if De Gea goes, do we get Morata from Real Madrid? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I've always thought James Rodriguez, but we'll just have to wait and see. The one thing is, I don't want to lose De Gea. No one wants to lose De Gea, but we've got to be consistent with what we said last summer, at the start of the summer. If we were to lose De Gea to Real Madrid, then we must take something big in return. Whether that's Morata, whether that's big enough for some people, I don't know. Whether it's Bale, whether it's Cruz, whether it's Varane. Well, it's got to be something that suits us big time for that to happen. So, summarise, Perisic, Manchester United player by Monday night, we're saying that. Mbappe, Manchester United are still trying to get him. It's a battle with Real Madrid that Real Madrid hold the cards for, but Mourinho wants Mbappe. Morata could still happen. Luke Shaw is not out until the new year. I don't know how that's come about. I think it's just been misconstrued a little bit, misinterpreted maybe. Darmian is a player that we're apparently trying to sell, which I don't think we'll have much problem with because there's a lot of Serie A clubs who like him. And that's about where we're at the moment. We may well go live again this afternoon if something new comes in. If not, we'll be live at Saturday Night Live, 8 o'clock, taking your questions, Q&A. And I think what we'll do then is, if you live in the UK, we'll do the Q&A till about 9 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to that. And then I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed so I can get up at 2 o'clock or 2:30 for the first Manchester United watch-along of the season. LA Galaxy kicks off 3 AM tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to it, apart from the getting up. I'm looking forward to it. So very, very, very exciting next 18 hours for United fans. We'll be back with you at 8 o'clock. Then we'll be back for the watch-along in the early hours. But get commenting on the transfer news. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think... do you agree with me that Perisic will be a United player by Monday night? Mbappe, Johnny Walker says, how much would Mbappe go for? I think United might have to pay something ridiculous to get him, but don't be surprised if we do. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks everyone for watching. Really good show. Thanks for everybody who's made the effort to watch live. There's quite a few of you there. Please do drop a like on the video if you have, or even if you're not watching live. There's 2,500 watching, which I think is great for 11 AM on a Saturday morning. But we are building towards that Manchester United game. Very excited about that. Be talking more about that at 8 o'clock tonight. But have a good day. It's Saturday, and I'll see you all later. No song today, but I'm back at 8 o'clock tonight. Maybe we'll have a little sing-song then. Thanks for watching. Exciting day. And I'll see you every game. Well, we'll see you every game, but I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching.